Hey guys, welcome back to the Two Players Podcast. This is episode 7. Today we are talking about news between May 1st to probably, I don't know, like April something. But we're
Yeah.
going to be talking about news ranging from Nintendo, Marvel movies, all this other stuff that has happened between since the last episode to this episode. So, the first piece of news is Metroid Prime Federation Force has been delayed to August 19th for North America.
I mean, isn't this the second delay?
Was it the second delay? I don't think so. I
Uh,
think I think this is like the first major delay.
okay.
But
I mean, the game still doesn't look that good, so I doubt it'll get any better from that delay or anything. So, I mean, it's not
but
that big of a loss. I wasn't really looking forward to it anyway.
I heard it was okay from what people have played from PAX East. It's not gonna be anything amazing, mind you, but I think it'll be like a passable game by Nintendo, just from what I've heard. But we shall see once that release date comes around. Robert Downey Jr. has been confirmed to sign on for Spider-Man: Homecoming. So, what does this make you think about the story now?
That hopefully it'll be better because it was made by Sony, right? Isn't it? This one?
Uh, this one will actually tie into another piece of news that we have. Marvel has full creative decision over this movie.
Okay.
So
So I do.
basically, it's Marvel's Spider-Man.
That's good because Sony already had their chance and they kind of messed it up. So hopefully with this it could tie in more with the whole Marvel universe. It probably won't though, but hopefully it will. And I think have Marvel having more control over it is a smart idea
Yep.
because it won't be like a mess like the other ones were. But they try to add too much to it. It's kind of like Batman v Superman, where they try to add too much into one movie and just becomes a mess. So this is a great thing.
uh, some people are thinking about like the Iron Spider being in this movie, which I
Oh.
don't think will happen.
I
But
don't think that will happen. Maybe a cameo of like Iron
yeah,
Man or something.
so I don't think Iron Man will have a major part. I think Robert Downey Jr. is just like a little cameo piece that he's gonna be in this Spider-Man movie. So, I mean, it's nice to go and see that other people from the Marvel Cinematic Universe being signed on to this Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So, Amazon supposedly, or they aren't supposedly, they are selling high-profile games to Prime members only. So, like, this is a piece of news I found by Alpha Omega Sin. He pretty much reported it, and what basically happens is that high-profile games like Grand Theft Auto 5, like Assassin's Creed, like all of these like really popular games, and if you want them delivered to your house, and if you want to buy them from Amazon, they're exclusive to Amazon Prime members.
Yeah, I think
So
that's a bad thing. I mean, I think Amazon Prime is great and all, but like that isn't okay. Because I know a lot of people that buy games through Amazon, but they don't have Prime because the monthly cost and stuff. And if you don't buy everything on Amazon, Prime probably isn't worth it. So
yeah,
I think this is pretty bad because it removes a lot of convenience for a lot of people that can't just drive to a GameStop and get a AAA game or something. So that's really bad, and hopefully they reverse this because that isn't good at all.
yeah, this is not the best idea Amazon has had like ever, because it literally limits the amount of games that they sell through their website, which sucks. I mean, I guess they were like looking at the numbers. They're like, hey, like this percent of people that have Prime buy games, but like, no, don't limit your audience any further. So I feel like it kind of just shot themselves in the foot here. So hopefully they realize their mistake and don't go any further with this.
Yeah,
Because like if they, let's say like the next Call of Duty comes out, and like if you want to buy from Amazon, it's only through Amazon Prime members. Everyone's gonna freak the fuck out. Everyone's gonna freak out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then no one's gonna be happy other than the people that actually do have Prime. So it's definitely not gonna be a good thing if they do decide to stick with this Prime only thing for their physical games
Might also
on
hurt.
certain titles
It'll
too.
probably hurt sales of some games too. So really, this just
Yeah.
sucks for everyone. So I really don't know why they're doing this, like at all. Maybe Prime members could get like something else, not this, because this seems like that's really unfair for everyone else.
Yeah, this seems a bit of a stretch, I think. Did you hear about the Friday the 13th game getting like a
Uh,
Kickstarter
yes, but
all the way
I
back
think
then?
they just released a teaser, yeah, and
Yeah.
it looks. I don't know what it's gonna be like. What I'm thinking might be like, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna be playing as Jason and basically running around and killing people, right?
I think so.
Pretty sure that's the way it's gonna
I
work.
saw the Kickstarter, but I didn't really read what the game was gonna be about. Hopefully, it's good. It says 1 to 8 players. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that this is gonna be like a multiplayer thing where it's like either 7 or 8 campers are gonna be hunted down by Jason, and then the one to survive by the end will win or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So exactly how good it'll be, we don't know yet, but we did see some footage of it right now or like more recently. And you know what? This is all beta footage. You know, they still haven't polished it up yet, but I feel like that this could be extremely promising. And the fact that they made more than $700,000 from their Kickstarter goal, I feel like that just gives them a little bit more room to work around with what they want to do with the game.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. It could be a good multiplayer game if they have a lot of cool kills and stuff that he could do and stuff
Yeah, that
that
Jason
Jason could
does
do.
and everything. So hopefully, once more development comes in, we will see this game turn out to be a lot smoother, a lot better, and just an overall better product.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a Kickstarter game that doesn't suck. So hopefully it does well.
Nintendo released Star Fox Zero: The Battle Begins. It's like the little like anime short. So you
Um,
watched it earlier, and you
it
found it to be weird, right?
I thought the animation, like, I know what they were going for, but I didn't really like it. I know they released like a bunch of Kid Icarus anime short things when that game Uprising came out, and I thought those were
Yeah.
way better because it looked more like a traditional anime, and it was pretty cool.
Mhm.
This one I feel like I don't know what they were trying to go for in terms of like style, but it wasn't really doing
Like
it for me.
stylized in terms of like the artwork and
Yeah, it was
everything.
like 3D, 2D thing or something. I don't know. It was weird, but I do like what that they're doing like these anime short things for their games. I think it's cool. I just didn't like the art style.
I didn't see anything wrong with the art. All I knew is that a lot of people were like making fun of it on like Twitter and stuff, and that is reasonable because there were some screenshots that were pretty funny. But the way that they told the story was very good. I think I thought that they told it very well,
Yeah, yeah,
Ha-
it's pretty good.
and maybe this will encourage them to maybe look for like a studio that'll make them like a season or like maybe a couple like short episodes for them for like online or like something because this was pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I want a Kid Icarus anime though first, because I think Kid Icarus could be a fantastic like
I mean
anime.
like any like Nintendo property because none of them are really having fleshed out stories, you know. So like if they decide to do Kid Icarus, Star Fox, Mario, Zelda, whatever it may be, I'll be all for it to be honest.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool bonus
Yeah.
thing.
A little cool thing, and sad to say that Star Fox Zero didn't do as well as it probably should have
Yeah.
from what I've heard. But I'll make my impressions once I finally make the purchase. The NX, big news from Nintendo. The NX will be coming on March 2017, along with Zelda NX and Zelda Wii U coming out that same time, right?
Yeah, but they actually changed it. I think they removed March and just said 2017 now.
Oh my
So
god.
yeah, I think it's gonna be even longer. So that's bad. Alright, so this
Alright,
is
so the
the giant
first
one.
thing
Yeah.
I remember, well, I mean, like, people are going through Nintendo's old tweets and seeing that they tweeted the NX will come in 2016,
Yeah.
and now that it's 2017, you know, it's kind of just like, oh my god, I can make up your mind, you know. So, um, when I first heard about the March 2017 thing, I was like, all right, whatever. But the worst thing that came out of this is the fact that it won't be at E3, the
Yeah.
NX itself,
That's what got me.
which is yeah, that's what really got everyone because it's kind of just like what do you mean, like you said that this was gonna be at E3. I don't even know like how many years ago, maybe like last year or something, but they said that the NX was gonna be at E3, but now it's not even gonna be there. And hopefully Zelda Wii U is gonna be there. Probably Zelda NX won't be there. Probably no NX stuff will be at E3,
I
which is
do think
extremely
I
sad.
think Zelda Wii U is gonna be at E3. I think that's like the only thing they're doing. I think.
Or maybe like some other surprises, maybe some more details on Paper
But it's
Mario
like
Wii U.
we
Or,
know there's not gonna be any more Wii U games.
yeah,
So
there's like nothing else
they're
left.
like you literally have nothing besides like Kirby, which looks good. The Kirby game and
The
probably
Kirby DS game, Pokemon Moon and Sun.
the Paper Mario one, but you know that one's
Yeah,
probably gonna be
the Paper
trash.
Mario Wii U. I don't know. Nintendo does not have a lot up their
It's
sleeve
just
at the
another
moment.
weak year. Like it's like
Yeah,
Jesus
I
Christ.
mean like they're kind of just like treading on thin ice right now, and they're like so banking on this NX like working out. And if it doesn't do well, we're gonna have another Wii U fiasco all over again.
Yeah, and I
And
know a
then
lot of
you're gonna
people
have to.
people are just sick of the whole gimmicky stuff that Nintendo's been doing, like the gamepad and the Wii remote. So, and I know this one's gonna be a big gimmicky too, because they keep talking about mobile stuff and how it's gonna fit with the
Yeah.
NX. So I don't know if we're
Oh my
like,
god.
I know it's just like they just make like a core system, you know, like just make it like have a controller and that's it, and you know be as powerful as like the PlayStation 4 and stuff. But it just
Also,
yeah.
I hope that the Zelda Wii U Zelda NX game will just like be the best one ever.
I
like,
really
the
hope
best Zelda
so.
game ever, because they're delaying it so much, and like, ugh.
Yeah, now they're pulling a Twilight Princess, which is coming out both NX and Wii U. I knew they were gonna do that, but I think
I mean, like,
I feel like they're
when they
delaying
like
it.
delayed it like for a long time, people were like, yeah, they're gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
it really makes sense at this point, because it's like Zelda for Wii U, and then it's like, you got the NX coming, right? All right, so it's probably gonna be dual released on there, right? So I don't know. I mean, like, I wouldn't mind this being delayed to March 2017, but the fact that it's like, oh, now it's not at E3, it kind of just like, you know.
Yeah, I just wanted to see the thing. I just wanted to see what it does, so I could get excited for it. Because I don't even know what it is. Like no one knows
Yeah.
what it is, and
We don't know what it is. It could be another black box. It could be like a cube or a rectangle, whatever the heck Nintendo has.
it would have
in
been
mind.
great to have this at least have a direct or something. Like give us something.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that in May or even June, or like the week before E3, to like catch the head start on everyone. To like do something, but it probably won't be NX related. It'll probably be like Wii U and 3DS or something like that. But I don't know. It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's like very bad for Nintendo right now. I know a lot of people are like, oh, because it's awful.
Yeah, it's such a bad thing,
And people have
because
been
like,
promised the Zelda game since like the Wii U first like was released. Like there's gonna be a Zelda Wii U, and we didn't even know about it. And then it's like it keeps getting delayed,
Yeah.
delayed, and delayed.
the day that the announcement happened, I saw this picture. I might put it on your screen right now, but maybe not. It said, "Did Nintendo do a thing? If it's yes, Nintendo did the wrong thing. If it's no, why didn't Nintendo do the thing or whatever?" So pretty much they're doomed whether they do something or they don't do something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you promise so much to your audience, it's kind of just like, yeah.
Yeah,
You
just,
said it was gonna be at E3. You said it was gonna be released this year. What the hell?
they should not like. They should have kept their mouth shut, really.
Yeah,
Because
I feel
they're
like
just pissing off more people.
just like making too many promises that they obviously couldn't keep.
Yeah.
And then going into more Nintendo news, the Wii U is supposed to cease production by the end of 2018, which was the original delay date was the end of this year, because we thought the NX would come out this year. But I guess now it's until the end of 2018, so that's what has me thinking that they still have Wii U games lined up.
They probably have at least one more big one, like of course the Paper Mario one. But they might reveal one more Wii U game, but I think that's about it. From like major Nintendo titles. But that question is, what is it?
I really don't know what else they could do. They did a bunch of Mario games. They have a Zelda game coming up. They could try Metroid, but I don't think they'll do that. Like, that's such a long stretch. They did
Yeah,
Star
I mean, they're
Fox.
already making Federation Force, but that doesn't really count. But to them,
Yeah,
it probably
that's-
does.
That's 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any major 3DS title really or Wii U titles sticking out that could possibly be announced at E3. Maybe I'm just thinking too close inside of the box or something.
Hmm.
But I don't know. We'll just have to go and see and wait for what they do at E3, and if it's bad, you'll definitely hear from us.
Yeah.
Skipping the Marvel news that we said earlier about Marvel having creative decisions over Homecoming Spider-Man. Captain America actually has 2 post-credit scenes.
Why
This
not
is
way
kind
longer?
of this is kind of just like Avengers kind of maybe, on how like the original Avengers had like 2 post-credit scenes where like one was Thanos and then the other one was like a little fun one.
They might do
But
that actually. Yeah.
But this one supposedly, I think both of them are supposed to like relate to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm definitely I definitely expect seeing a lot more people saying after the credits to just go and see exactly what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I don't move. I wait until all the credits are done anyway, in like most Marvel things. Like until I
Yeah.
see that scene, then I leave. So.
Yeah, because Marvel always likes to go and have that little post-credit scene and all this other
They
stuff.
force you to see who makes it, so you could like see it.
Yeah, I'm super duper excited for Civil War, man. I rewatched Avengers 1, rewatched Captain America 2. I watched Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Ant-Man was great.
Ant-Man
And then
was
I
good.
watched Thor. Really, Thor doesn't have to do anything with it, but whatever. Or like, not the first Thor. I watched the second Thor.
Oh, you watched the second
because,
one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I actually didn't see it when it came out because I was like, it's Thor. It's like whatever. But I'm pretty excited for Captain America 3 because this is kind of like Avengers 2.5 as they described it, but it still focuses on Captain Rogers and Bucky and exactly how those two try to work it out.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I really like those two. So.
And just being able to see the new characters on screen, Black Panther, Spider-Man, all those characters, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So, cannot wait for Saturday, which I think I'll see it, the 7th.
So.
So
Yeah. Oh my
I'll
God, it's
see,
gonna be
man.
packed. Holy crap! I don't know. I don't know. I might.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll see it the weekend it comes out. Maybe
I don't know.
the next week.
I'll see what I do. But the last piece of news we have here is just a little rumor, but I thought that it was very, very interesting. Sucker Punch Productions, people that made the infamous series and Sly Cooper, were projected or like they were supposed to make a unentitled Spider-Man game for the PlayStation 4. So, what are your thoughts on this? Exactly.
I think that'd be great because the last good Spider-Man game I played was Shattered Dimensions. The other one, I forgot what was the other one called. The one where it was just future
Edge of
Spider-Man.
Time.
Edge of Time. It was okay. It wasn't bad. But I thought the last
Yeah.
really great one was Shattered Dimensions. But I think that team already had their fill with Spider-Man because they made that, Spider-Man, Edge of Time, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was okay also on like
Wait,
Xbox.
didn't they make both of them, right?
Yeah, they made
Amazing
both of
Spider-Man
them.
1 and 2?
Yeah.
I thought that the first one was okay. I didn't play the second one because I thought it was, yeah.
I think it was a
heard
little
meh.
worse, yeah.
Yeah, I heard mad things from it, so I didn't even attempt it.
Yeah, the first one was
But
okay.
The last Spider-Man game I played was the Amazing Spider-Man game when I was at your house. And I had a lot of fun with it, to be honest. But, like, I didn't buy it, obviously.
Yeah.
But the last great Spider-Man game that I played that I own, I mean, like, Shattered Dimension was good, but I felt like the reason that it was really good was because it had many different gameplay styles that were consistent and somehow made the story make sense, kind
Yeah.
of. So when we're just dealing with one Spider-Man, I would say Spider-Man 2 for like the PS2.
Oh, yeah. I love Spider-Man
Yeah,
too.
like everyone goes back to that one. It's like, oh man, that one's so good. And you know what? They're right. Despite it being a licensed movie title, it's such a great game because the way that you just like swing around the city, the way the mission structure is, and like just everything about the game is really fun. So if Sucker Punch were to make a game like that, I think that it would be great, just because they have experience behind them with Infamous, and Infamous, woof, it's like one of the best open world games on PlayStation consoles.
Yeah, I still need to
So
play it. If I played the first one, but I should play the
Mhm.
second one.
I mean, second one's just a lot better. Like if you just jump from the first to the second one, you will definitely see the major improvements that they made. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So, if they were to make a Spider-Man game, which I hope that this rumor is true, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sucker Punch either scrapped it or something like that. But they might be working on something with Sony VR, maybe. We still don't know what Sucker Punch is working on at the moment. The last thing they worked on was First Light, which was released a couple years ago on PS4 on the PlayStation Store. So we still don't know what they're doing. But if they are working on this Spider-Man game, I hope that it's good. I wouldn't be surprised if it is because they have experience with Infamous and they know what they're doing. And just adding their character to be able to crawl on walls and just put Marvel or just Spider-Man villains and characters in there. I don't think that would be that hard, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like they could take the experience they had with Infamous, but just have more melee focused combat. Because I
Yeah.
know Sucker Punch doesn't really do that much melee. Like, yeah, Sly could hit people with a cane, but it's not the most complex combat system. And
Yeah,
Cole
I mean, like,
shoots
what
lightning.
people mostly do ever since Batman Arkham series, they just copy that.
But I'm getting really sick
But
of that. So,
yeah,
because
it's
every
like,
game uses
oh,
it.
you just press a button to counter,
Yeah.
But hopefully, if they do copy it, hopefully they do something different with it, or if they do their own combat system, which I would much prefer, even if it does fall flat on their face, people could learn from it, and other developers could take notes from their new combat system, whichever they do. But obviously this is a rumor, not gonna get my hopes too high. But I don't know. It just sounds like a really cool idea for Sucker Punch to ever be working on a Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what is next on the agenda for this
I
podcast
actually want to talk
episode?
about how much the Ratchet Clank movie bombed.
Oh my god.
So
All
apparently
right. So
it took 20 million to make, and it only made 5 million
uh-huh.
back right now, and that's really really
Yeah, and
bad.
that's only what is it? How many days has it been?
It's
Like,
I've been to opening weekend, right?
yeah, I think today's Sunday, May 1st, so it hasn't been that long, and I don't think it'll get any higher from here. Like by the
Yeah,
end of next week, I would expect another million worldwide, to be honest,
yeah.
just because of the amount of bad press it's gotten, and like the way the movie. I mean, like, uh, it's just so disappointing, especially for you, to be
Yeah, it
honest.
hurts me in the inside a lot. But, the thing I keep telling myself, at least the game was fantastic, but
Yeah, the game
this.
was really good. And like the problem I had with the game, it seems to be the same thing with the movie. There's a lack of character development
Yeah.
within the characters from what I've been hearing. It's like Ratchet and Clank are too one-dimensional. The along with the Galactic Rangers, like there's like a lot of generic going on here, which isn't bad, but that's also not good either.
Yeah,
you
being
know?
forgettable is probably worse than being bad. Because, like, you just forget.
Yeah, because like if you're bad, at least we'll remember it.
And it's so sad because, like, Ratchet and Clank is, like, the most memorable characters to me because I grew up with them.
Yeah.
But critics seeing this right now, like, oh, they're the most, like, generic characters that ever existed. I'm like, no. It makes me feel so sad that you think they're so
It's
generic.
either Insomniac Games dropped the ball with the storytelling in the movie and like they just forgot
I
about
think
it.
they try to cater it too much to kids, even though that's not what
I
Ratchet and Clank
feel
has been
like
about.
oh my god, I feel like that they just should have stuck to the original source material. Just kept Ratchet and Clank not as friends from the beginning because that just would have made them so much more interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just being them like, hey, we're both best friends from the start, because that kind of just like ruined that whole dynamic that they had.
Yeah, there was
within
like
the
no
beginning.
conflict. Like there was just like we're
Yeah.
friends now. It's like what?
And then like the Galactic Rangers, like they were just so boring.
Yeah, very
like I
generic. Yeah,
I didn't know any of their names.
me either.
Like I just forgot all of them after I finished the game, and I was like, what was that guy's name? That one with the gun? I don't know.
That one with the
But-
gun. Yeah, that.
I feel like they
sounds
all had weapons and stuff. Like I don't know. They were all just like forgettable, and like Drek wasn't as menacing as he was within the original PS2 game.
Yeah.
So I was hoping that maybe in the movie he would be, but from what I've been hearing, he's not. So
Like if I ever
I don't
had
know.
to go, like I think the game's still good, but if I ever want to replay Ratchet and Clank 1, I'll probably just play the PS2 version again, just because
Yeah.
I'm more nostalgic for it. But I still, I don't know. I just feel like the Ratchet and Clank for the PS1, the whole thing with Ratchet being an ass to Clank, well, it got old really fast, but it did show that, like that conflict in their friendship. And then when he
The
got back,
conflict, people can change,
yeah, yeah,
and basically showing exactly how Ratchet evolved as a character throughout the first game.
yeah, and
Character
they
development.
basically made no
So
one a villain in this. Like Quark was more sympathetic in this one, but in the first game and even the
yeah,
second game, he was a villain.
in the first game he was an asshole.
Yeah,
Like I was like, damn son, like what the hell?
yeah, but then it's like in this one they make him really sympathetic, but he was supposed to be like, he doesn't know any better
Yeah.
and stuff, but like whatever.
They probably try to make it too much for kids and like forgot exactly what the first game was setting up to be for the series.
Yeah.
So maybe they were just trying too much for the audience, for the general public, instead of just aiming
They were
towards the people
catering
that
to the
know.
wrong audience, I think.
Yeah, they should have just stuck to their guns, been like, this movie's for Ratchet and Clank fans, so we're gonna give it to them, instead of just being like, this, we're trying to do this for the general public. That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Especially with a movie that's based on a game. People are seeing this movie because they played your games before.
Yeah.
So if someone's coming into this movie never playing a Ratchet and Clank game before, yeah, sure, you could pretty much make it accessible for those people as well, but you have to make the characters at least interesting, because I didn't see the story as big of as a problem in the game as I did, because I already know who Ratchet and Clank are. I already know who Cork is and what he's been through and all this other stuff. It's just that in the reimagining, they just didn't do it as well as they probably should.
Yeah, they expected you to know who these characters were already. Like, oh, Ratchet and Clank are already friends. Like, that's not how reboots work. You're supposed to, like,
Yeah.
This is the first time some people are seeing them ever. And when you make them super generic and they're just friends automatically, it's like, it's horrible. That's bad storytelling.
Oh my god, yeah. So
that made me sad.
alright, so on a hopefully a better note, what games have we been playing this week? So I'm gonna start with you.
Alright, I haven't been playing that much. I've just played Guild Wars 2 because there was an update that came out, so I was just playing a lot of that. But I have been watching a lot of
Okay.
Avatar and Korra. And Avatar,
Alright. I mean, I guess we could talk about that because I watched Avatar and Korra.
yeah, I
So,
think Avatar was fantastic.
You marathon through those, right?
Yeah, I started
Are you done with Korra yet, or?
I'm up to the last season of Korra.
Okay, so.
I mean, I already know the ending, but I think Avatar was fantastic. It was really good. Characters were really good. Villains were really good. Conflicts were really good. Everything was fantastic about that show. Korra is also really good, but I have some problems with it, being that there really is no overarching villain in this show because of the Nickelodeon fiasco. They didn't know they were going to get renewed for season 2 when they made season 1.
So they were kind of just like, "Hey, we're gonna do this one-off villain."
Yeah, and that's how it works with every other season. There's always a one-off villain, and then that for the season, then that's it.
Yeah, because they actually didn't know if they were gonna get renewed, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they didn't know they were going to get renewed for season 2.
That sucks.
So Nick was like, "Oh, Korra did really well, so let's give the season 2." And the writer's like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, once they made all of the episodes available to Nick.com, I think it got a lot of traction to that website.
Yeah.
To be honest, so I mean, that's where I watched it if I missed an episode. So, I mean, Korra, I didn't watch it at first until Jimmy Wetzel showed me, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. And then I was like, yeah, this is really freaking good, because the way every single story went, it always ended on a cliffhanger, so you wanted to come back and see what happened next week. And then on top of that, the characters were interesting. The characters were well developed as well. Like you saw throughout the seasons, exactly on how Korra grows and all of the other characters. I forget their names. I'm sorry.
Bolin, Mako, and Asami.
Yeah. So you pretty much see on how they grow as characters as well. So that's really nice. So yeah, just the way the writers and that whole team behind Korra and Avatar work is just fascinating,
Yeah, I would say that the characters in season 1 were a bit bland except Korra. And then in season 2, all the characters were good except Korra. But in season 3, I think everyone was good in season 3. So that season 3 was probably the best season. I say season 2 was probably the weakest. Just because I felt like they had to rewrite Korra. Oh, God, we had to give her development. Because in Season 1, they did something that retconned her a little bit. Well, not retconned her, but just did stuff. Because they didn't know they were getting to Season 2. So Season 2, they had redevelop her. It was weird.
I feel like if they knew that they were gonna get 4 seasons, they would have just
Yeah, exactly. Like
done
Avatar,
it
they already know what they
completely
were gonna
differently.
do. They already had 3 seasons, so yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like with Avatar, I wasn't exactly the biggest fan, but I would always watch it when it was on TV. You know,
It's
and
so
like I
good.
watched the I watched the final season where it was like
The Fire
what's
King,
the
Zozo's
yeah
comet.
the all that stuff was just freaking awesome. I believe I watched the final episode with a bunch of my cousins, and that was really fun. You know, just like watching Avatar and like the way he grows as a character, and you know, same thing for Korra basically.
Yeah, I do think
So
that Avatar had a bit better character development of just because they knew about the whole seasons, that they were getting
yeah.
3 of them. But I'm
Mhm.
also glad I didn't watch it as a kid, and kind of because like I could appreciate it on a different level that I do now. And
Yeah, I should probably rewatch
it's
it to
so
be
good.
honest.
I'm surprised at how well they develop some character. Like Zuko is probably one of the best characters I've ever seen in any show
Yeah,
ever.
Zuko definitely went through a lot throughout the whole Avatar series. So
Yeah, and
you
like
know,
like 2 of his scenes made me tear up. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I
oh
don't
my
tear up for
god.
like any media ever, and like some like 2 scenes from him almost made me like cry. I'm like, holy shit, it's like so good. But yeah, I do think Korra is also really strong. It just kind of Nickelodeon screwed them over a lot. But
Yeah.
besides that, fantastic shows. So do you want to talk about like Ant-Man and stuff? Because I know you watch that.
Alright, so what have I been playing recently? Killing myself in solo queue, League of
Nice.
Legends. Uh, we played a Steam games.
Oh
Me,
yeah,
you, and a bunch of other friends. We played Lethal League. We picked that up again.
love
It's
that game.
fun, but it's laggy. Like
The servers are awful.
if they just like fix their online, I think that it would be like a great game to play on Steam with 3 of your friends. You know, like it's just the online problems because like when you're playing a game like that needs to be extremely precise, it kind of just like turns people off like me when I want to win, and
Yeah.
then you know I just like mess up because you know I messed up like 0.2 second hit that I probably shouldn't have went for, but it's whatever. So we played Duck Game again. That's pretty fun,
Another
you
great
know.
game.
Have we me and some other friends tried out the basketball mode in Rocket League. It's pretty interesting. Like I still don't know how it
What,
works
do you have like air
because
shot things or what? Like how does that work?
alright, so the way it works is that there's a hoop. It pretty much acts the same way as the net. It's just that you have to make sure that the ball's in the air to get it into the hoop. So you can't just like bypass it any way. You have to get it into the hoop.
Oh,
You know what
okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
It's pretty difficult. Like it's a lot harder than the regular mode because you have to get the ball into the hoop and all this other stuff. So like I'm pretty bad at it, and the way it works is that the ball bounces once within the beginning, so you have to like jump and then like boost to go and get up to the ball or something like that. Like I'm so bad at it.
yeah.
So like I have to play with someone that knows what they're doing in the beginning, so like we don't just get scored on immediately. And like just like getting the ball out of the hoop once it's like in the area is like super difficult as well. So like I don't know, like one of our friends, Louis, he's like pretty good at it. I'm not even gonna lie. So
Yeah, he's like obnoxiously good at it.
so hopefully the more we play we will definitely get better, but at the moment he's kind of just like miles ahead of everyone else. So anything else I've been playing? No, I don't think so. Alright, so let me talk about some of the stuff I've been watching. Alright, Ant-Man. Ant-Man has been a movie that I've delayed watching because I was like, you know, it's Ant-Man. And then one of our classmates, John, you know who he is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know.
From
I know who
English?
John is.
Okay. He was basically like, you know, Ant-Man's like 10 out of 10 material. And I was like, I'll see about that. And I don't blame him, to be honest, because it's such a good movie because again, Marvel does it again. They take this character that no one knows whatsoever. Like the majority, if you ask, like walk around before this movie came out, was like, who is Ant-Man? They probably wouldn't even know who the hell you're talking about, you know?
Yeah.
So like the fact that they took Ant-Man and like made him such an interesting character, and like Paul Rudd as Ant-Man was fantastic. He was such a good actor. He did an amazing job, and just the whole movie just was fantastic. And they're making a sequel to it, so that's gonna be awesome. And he's gonna be in Civil War, so that's like literally the main reason why I wanted to watch it, to go and make sure that I knew exactly who Ant-Man was and where he came from and everything like that. So he had a very interesting arc, and I'm glad that I watched it. So if you haven't watched Ant-Man yet and you plan on seeing Civil War, watch Ant-Man. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, it's also really funny too.
Yeah, it was so funny. It's probably one of the funniest Marvel films I've seen in a while. Like, the other Marvel movies have like some humor here and there, but like this one was like really funny.
Yeah.
So, Thor, it was okay. You know, Thor 2: The Dark World, right? I believe.
Yeah,
that's what
it
it's
was
called.
okay. Yeah, I felt the same way.
It was alright. You know, I feel like if Thor could take down a villain like that, I feel like that. Why do we need the Avengers? No, I'm just kidding. But like, but I felt like the way that the story played out and like the people in the, I mean, like, it gave Loki, you know, a sort of second personality. I feel, because the way he was in this movie was definitely different than he was within Avengers, especially after certain events within the movie. So you definitely see his sort of like human side of him, I would say.
Yeah, I mean it's been a while
So
since I watched it, but I do like what he broke Loki out of prison or something, right? Was that what happened?
yeah, so that was basically treason
Yeah,
committed
yeah,
to go and so Thor basically went on his own solo mission after certain events happened, and he tried to stop it on his own. It kind of backfired in his face, but it worked out in the end. And like there's like these like weird portal things where it's like going into like different worlds and stuff. It's pretty weird. So like it was a little bit hard to keep track of, but I think that Thor: The Dark World was still like a pretty good movie.
it felt like
you
a
know.
filler movie basically. It was just like
Yeah,
there.
kind of.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, if that movie didn't exist, I don't think anything would have necessarily changed. Really, it was kind of just like a gap, just to show what happened between Avengers: Age of Ultron and the first Avengers for Thor, right? Basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. There's not much to write home about it, but there's nothing much to say bad about it, you know. So.
Yeah, I felt the same way when I watched it.
So. Anything else I have been watching? I mean, I've just rewatched Avengers and Winter Soldier. You know, still good Marvel films, but other than that, I have stayed away from other movies at the moment. So,
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I have
is that
anything
really
else.
it? Let me see. All right, so I got a host topic I want to talk about real quick, maybe for like 10 minutes or something.
Okay.
What are your expectations for the next Ratchet and Clank game? Because now that Insomniac Games is now seeing the no money coming in from the movie, and then they're seeing a bunch of money coming in from the game, they're going to probably move towards either the next Ratchet and Clank game or a new IP, which I think that they already have something for PlayStation VR, right?
They have a lot of things for PSVR. Like they have at least
Yeah.
like 3 games in development.
So, other than that stuff, what if they were to make another Ratchet and Clank game? Because I feel like that the PS4 game that was a tie-in for the movie was really good.
Yeah.
You know, so what do you want to go and see from the next Ratchet and Clank game by Insomniac Games? That's part of like the mainstream series.
Like
know?
not the reboot series?
No.
Oh, well, I don't know how they're gonna have to make a new story, right? Because they already wrapped up the whole Future trilogy with the whole Zony thing
Yeah.
and stuff. So
They even made a prologue to it with Into the Nexus and everything. So
yeah, you mean
I feel like
epilogue?
that they pretty whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they already basically wrapped that up. So they will have to make a whole new story again. But that's why I thought this reboot was a good idea, because they already finished that and like, okay, let's start with a clean slate. But if they were to make a second game in a reboot series, I wouldn't want them to make straight up just remake Going Commando, because, you know, what's the point of rebooting if you're just going to do the same thing but make it prettier? So it's hard to say. I would like another Ratchet and Clank game, and I hope the whole movie thing doesn't discourage them from making another one, because the game was so good and everyone agrees like the game was fantastic.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I think they're gonna have to move on, either continue with the reboot series or just do something else. It's hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, at this point within the Ratchet and Clank franchise, they've pretty much done everything that they can, right? Sort of.
Basically, they could add more gimmicks, I guess, but like the series is like The series has
pretty
always been
much
very
done with.
straightforward. Like
Yeah.
you shoot stuff, and that's what I love about it though. That it's always consistent and it's always consistently good. Maybe
Uh
more
huh.
open worldy, but they've been trying to do that too. So I'm
I
not
don't know.
really sure.
I would want a Ratchet and Clank game that pretty much gives me all of the tools that I would need to explore the world. Let me do it at my own leisure, and then at the end, I'll do the final boss. So like if I want to do Planet 3 before Planet 1, that sort of thing. Sort of make it like more open world, like you said.
Yeah.
That's what I want within the next Ratchet and
I
Clank
know a lot of
game.
people were complaining about because since the PS1 PS1 whoa no the PS4 game was basically a remake of the PS2 game. Some reviewer said the level design is very linear, but that was because it was made in like 2002 and they were just using the
Yeah.
same level design. But I know that a lot of Ratchet and Clank games are very linear, which to some
Mhm.
people, a lot of people nowadays are so used to open world games. So it'll be interesting to see our open world Ratchet and Clank. I don't know how well that will work at all, but it'll be interesting. So like you explore like a giant map. It's sort of like the
Yeah.
like those desert levels in like Ratchet and Clank 2, except not as like barren. Like they actually have stuff to
Yeah.
do. I don't know. It's hard to say though.
They could add more side quests, maybe.
Oh,
Like
that'd be a
more
good
side
idea.
missions.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because they don't have enough of those, to be honest. Because like when I play Ratchet and Clank game, I want to get everything done within the planet first before I move on.
yeah,
That's just the way I play Ratchet and Clank. So like when they add like one side mission, I'm kind of like, can you like add more?
yeah. It'd be
That's
good to
just
stay on
what
the
I feel.
planet for longer than than
Then
like
like an
30
hour
minutes or
or
something. Yeah.
something. Yeah. So I feel like either they should continue with the series, try to do something new, or they should stop. To be honest, because I feel like that if they just continue moving on, I feel like it'll just get too samey,
True.
and that's the way it's been going on for a while now. Some people may feel, but I don't know. We'll just have to go and see what Insomniac plans to do with the series. If Ratchet and Clank do die alongside with like Jack and Daxter and potentially Sly Cooper, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I
I mean,
wouldn't
like
mind
you
either,
probably,
but it'd be
okay,
sad.
yeah. All good things have to come to an end at some
I
point.
would like to
So
see them do like Sunset Overdrive. I heard was a good game. I never played it still, but I
yeah,
would like
but
to see
it
them have
it was
more.
it was on Xbox only, so it didn't do as well as it probably should have. I think if they were to just like release it on PC, it would probably sell a lot of copies. To be honest, like I still haven't played it yet because it's only on Xbox. So
Yeah, but hopefully they find like a really good IP besides Ratchet and Clank and continue with that.
yeah,
Because the whole Song of the Deep thing or whatever the other game is called, like it looks
uh huh.
interesting, but it's like I
But
don't
I
see
don't think,
IP.
I don't see that going on for that much longer, other than the first or maybe a sequel. But that's maybe a sequel.
Yeah,
So, Insomniac Games hasn't had a long enough franchise ever. With some like Ratchet and Clank, they had Spyro for a little bit, then they moved on to Ratchet and Clank, and then they stuck with Ratchet and Clank for a long time. Over a decade.
yeah,
And I give props to them because they managed to go through 3 generations of the PlayStation, PS2, PS3, and now PS4.
yeah.
So either they try to keep going and just like end it with the PS4, or they just stop.
I mean, people still
here.
love it. Like it's been getting
Yeah,
great
like
reviews. So
yeah, like the games have always been consistently great. Other than like the spin-off titles like All for One and like Full Frontal Assault, those were obviously made by like game reviewers because this is not the Ratchet and Clank that we know, but it was different. They tried something new, and it obviously didn't work out as well as they probably expected. So maybe they could try something new again, but we'll see exactly on how much deficit the movie takes on them, because you said 20 million, right?
yeah,
And
it
they
took 20 million
only
to
they
make
made
it,
5.
and they only made 5 million, and they probably will only get a maximum of 2 million back, maybe.
So that's one
So maybe like
fourth.
7 million back. That's bad.
Yeah,
Like, really
that's
bad.
not good. So we'll just have to go and see and wait. So I think that is about it for this episode of the Two Players Podcast. Thank you guys for listening once again, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks from now with the next episode. So we'll see you guys then.
Later.